I've been doing this series, The Death of the High Street, now for over a year, documenting the abundance of empty retail space, shops, pubs, buildings, offices, houses, anything that's boarded up and empty. I've been going and finding it. Now, the reasons for it, I just find it fascinating seeing how the places that we live are changing. And I also find that in the time we live, and especially in our country, that we have such a value on space. We say space is worth so much, be it a small shop or even a terraced house that you're trying to buy. It's so expensive and it's so hard to actually get that. Yet all I find when I walk around everywhere is this huge amount of empty space. So I'd say that the reason why my series has done well is because I've given places a fair assessment. Now, when I came to Nottingham last week, I did what I always do. I turn up, I filmed what I found. I found a lot of empty retail space. However, when I uploaded the video, it was clear from the comments, I've never had this before, but everyone was saying, look mate, you have missed the centre of Nottingham. Why don't you come back? One guy commented and said, if you do come back, I'll give you a tour. So that's what we're doing. We're going back to Nottingham. I'm about to get on the train. It's a lovely day. So I've got a local to show me around, show me the stuff that I missed, hopefully explain why those areas that are in a bad way, why they're like that. And I think it's going to be really interesting. So yeah, let's get back to Nottingham. Was I wrong about Nottingham? So this was the main comment on my previous video that got me intrigued and made me want to come back down. So thank you to Rob for inviting me. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Now, he's on a podcast which is called Forest Fan TV. I said I'd give it a shout out. It's all about Nottingham Forest Footy Club. If that's your thing, I'll link it below. Go check it out. And it is absolutely boiling. This is great. Summer is upon us and it's the perfect day to revisit the city. So I'm going to go meet this guy now. He said meet him at the Left Lion somewhere. Well, this building's sweet, to be fair. I missed this last time. I got close because I think inside there's the Exchange. I went in there, but I didn't come out here and look at this building. It's a mega building. Looking nice and busy on a hot day around here. Doesn't look like there's anything empty. Actually, Debenhams there. But yeah, in this giant square, which I didn't see last time, only the big Debenhams there empty. The rest looks really busy. So I'm looking forward to where this guy takes me and what else he shows me. Is it Rob?
Oh, hello.
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you. Good to meet you.
Yes, thanks for coming back.
So this is Rob. This is the guy that commented on the video and said, come back down. I want to show you around.
Yeah, I mean, there was too much Grantham in the first episode. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And that's in Lincolnshire.
Yeah, I heard of that as well. So yeah, there's lots to cover. But thank you for inviting me back down.
My pleasure.
I'm very glad to have a tour guide, explore the city a little bit more, cover some bits that I am intrigued to know why they look like that, because there is a problem in areas, you know what I mean?
Oh, there's plenty.
Yeah. But like, I'm really keen. So where should we go first?
How about over here?
I just kind of went round to see what was in the square. It's good in here, to be fair. Only Debenhams shut down there, really. But
yes, so that's, well, we can explain that. There's a shop there called Primark, where you can buy all the finest clothes from Bangladesh, made with slave labour, and they pay tax in Ireland.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, poor old Debenhams couldn't compete with that.
That's it.
I'm sad because I bought this jacket in Debenhams, bought this shirt in Debenhams, but yeah, we lost our Debenhams, but we still got our House of Fraser.
Good to know. Just about.
Yeah, so this is Brian Clough.
Brian Clough, yep.
Yeah, so I thought I'd bring you here because it's quite important. He's quite literally put this city on the map.
Right, okay, yeah.
I mean, I've been in the desert of the UAE, and somebody said to me, where are you from? And I said, Nottingham. I said, Nottingham Forest. And I thought, right, there you go, that's Brian Clough's done that.
Yeah.
So we've got two statues in Nottingham, one of him and one of Robin Hood. The council house is a hodgepodge of two ideas. Basically, they said they wanted something that looked like St Paul's Cathedral, but they wanted the Galleria from Milan underneath. So they've got kind of both.
Yeah.
It's the deliberate copy.
Nice.
But the council actually don't operate out there anymore. They've moved to another
really?
building. Yeah. We've done a very Nottingham thing meeting at the Left Lion because that's where everybody always met. And I think I know the reason why. That all the buses from my side of town used to terminate here along this stretch, which is called Long Row. You always meet people there.
Oh, FAC 1968, that's it.
Here it is.
Let's go see if the guy's in. I got a message on Instagram, literally, I think it was last night, saying, if you're ever back in Nottingham, come check out my store, record store, and it's FAC 1968. So I'm gonna go see if they're in. Yeah, so the guy's in there, I'm just gonna have a chat with him. But what's great is he's busy. People are buying records, which is amazing to see. So I'll have to wait until people have stopped buying records to have a chat, but that's ace to see. What's your name, sorry?
I'm Gary.
Gary. Yeah, David. So yeah, this is the guy that messaged me literally last night, I think it was.
That's right. Yeah.
And he said, if you're coming back down and you missed this shop or this area, missed a fair bit, I'm accepting that. But I said, well, I'm coming down tomorrow, mate. So can I pop in?
Well, I had a record store in Hockley. I think you came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it there in the mid-90s, and then I sold that in 2004 because basically people had stopped buying records.
Yeah.
So I thought I just managed to sell it just before I went bankrupt, basically, and I never thought I'd be back selling records.
Yeah.
And then here I am. I opened up about 6 months ago.
Wow.
So now, obviously, as you can see from the shop, we're selling records and clothes as well. So
Yeah.
I think you need to do something else.
Yeah.
As well.
So you've done the full circle.
That's right, yeah.
Record, that must be so nice. And did you ever think, I've just got to say, I've always wanted to chat to someone about records on this series because it is something that, let's face it, we thought was dead. We thought it was
Records were like DVDs are now.
Yeah.
And if you take your DVDs to a charity shop, a lot of them will say no, I don't want them. Or videotapes.
Yeah.
Records were the same, weren't they? People didn't really want them.
Yeah.
Apart from there's always a few diehards
Yeah.
who are hanging on, but not
Yeah.
many. And so you couldn't really make a living in the shop. You wouldn't get enough footfall.
And how is it being an independent business, owning a store, rents, rates?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard because by the time, rents are dear and they're not going to go down for a while, and rates kill you. And then you also got electric and everything, so it's very hard. And you're not helped by, for example, in Nottingham, the council of the bankrupt. So one of the ways they've decided to deal with it is to put the parking charges up.
Yeah.
Which sounds great initially because they get more money in, but of course it just stops people coming in.
Yeah.
Because why would you pay? It's very expensive to park.
Yeah.
And people can just go out of town.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help.
Yeah. I guess the interesting thing though, you ain't going to find somewhere like this at Meadowhall. You're not going to find somewhere like this
That's our specialty. It's our secret power.
Yeah.
That we've got something that other people, it's not boring. You're not walking around the same thing.
It's buzzing that it exists. I'm so glad you have your store back, mate. That's class.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm really enjoying it. I've not made a lot of money yet, I must admit, but I'm enjoying it. I'm able to pay my rent. I'm able to pay the rent on my house, and that's the main thing. I enjoy it.
What an absolute legend. I'm going to link all his stuff below. He gave me his leaflet. I'll link his Instagram below, all his stuff. Do check him out if you're in Nottingham, if you like records. Love it. I'm glad I got to see a record store.
Before Westminster, they actually used to hold Parliament in Nottingham.
Really?
On some occasions. So in the olden days, the King moved around and he called a Parliament whenever he needed to raise some tax. And Nottingham, as you'll see when you go to the castle later, was quite an important administrative financial centre, and that's why Upper Parliament Street is called Upper Parliament Street.
Now over here is an absolutely beautiful theatre. Look
Which
at this.
you missed out on your first
I did miss out, not intentionally. So what's it called? Theatre Royal?
Well, the two together are called the Royal Centre. It's the Theatre Royal, and on the back of it is the Royal Concert Hall. There's obviously a lot of fast food around here as well. That's partly because we're next to the university. So
you've got two universities in Nottingham.
Yeah, so this is really the big business here these days. So this one that's in the centre, Nottingham Trent University, has got about 35,000 students. And then Uni of, as they call it, University of Nottingham, is on a campus which is, you can get to it on the tram, but it's about 2 miles out.
I think I saw that, I passed that on the train, coming in.
They've got another 35,000 students. Student population, Nottingham, it's close to 100,000.
Yeah, wow.
Half of that, I would say, is international students as well, because they pay 3 or 4 times as much.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the biggest business for the city now.
Yeah.
And the student accommodation, it's all around us now.
Yeah.
The minute something becomes vacant, it's going to turn into student accommodation.
Yeah. What's that big empty building there?
Right, that I think was the Guild Hall where the magistrates' courts were.
Right.
But that's moved to a new sort of glass and steel thing.
Okay.
But obviously, they're not allowed to knock it down.
That is gorgeous. They're the saddest ones to see like that.
well,
When you see buildings like that boarded up.
Yeah.
I don't mind some of the shops where you think, well, what's that? But buildings like that, I'll get some closer up footage in a second.
Yeah.
But
Put your camera through the window.
yeah, I bet I can. So I'm obviously back to give the city a fair look round and document the good stuff, but in terms of boarded up buildings, I will show them, and that is one of the biggest I've ever seen, the biggest boarded up buildings ever. So that's interesting to see as well. So we're just going to go have a little look inside the foyer of the Nottingham Trent Uni. Hopefully they allow me, and I can pass off as a student, I reckon.
I can't.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a lecturer.
Mature students, we'll call
I've got a
ourselves.
jacket on.
You have got the blazer, you do look like the lecturer. Oh yeah, that's nice. Whoa, that roof's sick. That's well good. Look at that.
Oh, roof's brilliant.
They are. That's it. Right, so are we going to go in the Victoria Centre now then?
Yes.
Right, so the Victoria Centre, this is the place that everyone said you missed out. Unfortunately, the one local that I did speak to in my last video, he said don't bother going there.
Well, he may have had a point. You can make your own mind up.
Oh really?
A monopoly, really. They owned both of the shopping centres in Nottingham.
So this is Victoria Centre in the heart of the city. We may get kicked out. I always get kicked out of these for
You
filming.
ain't going to get kicked
I
out.
reckon.
They'll take anybody in here.
But this is like, yeah, this is super busy. It's like the Arndale in Manchester,
Yeah.
where it's like in the centre. And again, the
Not
one,
quite on the same scale, but yeah.
the Arndale's doing really well though. Like, so yeah, the Victoria Centre, the one you told me, you all told me I should come to. I'm here.
Yeah. As you can see, pretty much everything is still open in here.
Yeah, yeah, everything open. Yeah, not one shop so far.
This is why people come into town now. That one, we still have our House of Fraser, John Lewis at the other end. And I think if either of those were to go, it would be like kicking one leg out from the Vic Centre.
Really? Do you mind if I just get some pictures? What's that? Oh, I'm just filming around.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're good.
Wandering Turner.
That's me.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I was watching you the other night.
Oh really? Well, I'm back to give Nottingham a bit more of a fair trial because I missed a lot.
Yeah, I was telling these, I watched the video you did about Nottingham.
Oh yeah.
I've seen you go all over the country.
No way, how cool.
We're going to be on YouTube.
Well, if you want to be. Success. What's your business? Your business doing well?
Well, it's been affected by everything, but we're still here.
Yeah, that's
Still
good.
here. We're still doing trade.
Amazing.
No, I was showing you, was I showing you on Friday? I showed you the video.
Yeah,
I watched you go all over the country. It's brilliant. What you're doing is really good.
Oh, thank you very much,
really
mate.
appreciate it.
Oh, well,
Honestly, you're really highlighting stuff, and
Yeah.
do you know what?
thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. And, and as
And
I
I've been
said,
in here 31 years, honestly. You're doing a real good job.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Absolutely brilliant. And it's not just for this city, but for all of them.
yeah. Well, I wanted to come back and give it a bit of a fair trial with a local because I missed a lot, and I'm glad I could come back and show what's going
If
on
you
here.
want to come round this market, yeah, the council, and it's just Nottingham City Council, they're the worst ones, the City Council, but all councils are destroying all
Yeah,
city centres.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Such
They
a
need to
shame.
come back.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll give you a shout out. What's your name of your store?
It's Madhouse Nut Centre.
Madhouse Nut
Victoria
Centre.
Market, yeah.
Brilliant.
Give us
Yeah,
a
yeah.
shout,
I will.
watch it.
I'll get a picture of the front.
I've been watching you for probably about a year or so.
Oh mate, top man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Right.
Some more security.
So there we go, that was the Victoria Centre. Unfortunately, I said on the way in, we're probably going to get kicked out, and what happened?
We are a major security threat.
Yeah. It is all busy in there. I mean, the market, I got to see a little bit around the market. That's pretty empty, but that nice guy I bumped into, had a chat with him there. He told me a bit about it. So, well, yeah, the Victoria Centre, it is busy. I made it to it, so thank you for you telling me to go there.
This has been the busiest shopping street in Nottingham because it's the route from the Victoria Centre to the Broadmarsh.
Right, okay, yeah.
But as you get closer toward the Broadmarsh, you will find everything is closed.
Yeah.
Because the Broadmarsh is no longer there.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone you're seeing here is a student, right?
Yeah.
The office workers are all at home. They
Yeah.
don't come into the city every day. And a lot of the office buildings are being sold off for student flats. So those people now aren't spending the money in the city centre. Honestly, it's not one thing. You can't put it down to Brexit or
it's
to
not
the
one
pandemic
thing.
or to any one thing. It's just
Because, yeah,
all one direction, unfortunately. The Broadway cinema.
Yeah.
So you may have heard of the director Shane Meadows.
Oh, yeah.
From these parts. He premieres all of his films there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
No
it's-
way.
it's-
Or the lace market.
Yeah,
Everyone
right,
told me
let's
to
go
go.
down here.
Everyone said going to the lace market. That was another thing that people said I missed. Yeah, these streets are well nice round here, aren't they? Is this the lace market
Yes,
then?
this is the lace.
Oh, so this is the actual lace
Yeah,
market.
so a lot of these buildings were to do with the lace manufacturing trade. So this is where they did the fancy bits. They sort of embroidered it all at the end, and they had showrooms here.
Wow, yeah, gorgeous that, isn't it?
And when I used to come here as a kid for the choir, this church was black, completely black. And I thought at the time that it was made from some kind of special black stone.
Oh, really? Well, what was it?
It was coal dust. I mean, basically, Nottinghamshire coalfield powered this country for
Right,
100 years. And it was the acid rain had turned the stone black.
Wow.
And when I moved away from Nottingham for a short period, and I came back and the church was brown.
No way.
It's because they'd treated it with chemicals and they sandblasted it. But if you find any pictures of this from the 80s, it's entirely black. Look at that for a grand door.
Oh, that is a great door. Wow. That is a lovely bit of door. I've actually got a video coming up soon at a stained glass factory, my Made in Britain series, which I think will be fascinating.
This organ is... there was a time when this church could fit 1,000 people in it.
Wow.
And I've seen it full once, and that was in 1989, the day after the Hillsborough disaster.
Oh,
We had
really?
a service in here, and it was absolutely packed.
Yeah.
And I was in the choir, and I looked on the front row, and the whole Forest team was there with Brian Clough.
Wow.
1,000 people here.
Wow. That's crazy. No way.
Yeah.
Right, so this is crazy. The picture and the piano, and I'm all for it. Revitalising spaces, keeping pubs alive.
But what would Jesus have said?
Yeah, he would not be happy. Oh yeah, look at this, wow. Damn it. Am I out to just get some pictures?
But yeah, that's our new bus station. And then this is our new latest coffee shop, which has also got a library in it.
Yeah, so the library in the coffee shop, not the other way around.
Absolutely.
Not the coffee shop in the library.
If you go in there, you find mainly people drinking coffee
Yeah,
and looking at
phones.
phones and Macs, and then there's some books on the wall.
Yeah. So this being knocked down, this being finished, has essentially killed all the trade down here.
Yes, you'll see it when we go up Listergate.
All this, like, this is all to let here, like,
Yeah.
everything's shut down here, nothing going on.
No,
and,
I mean,
and that's all
I
because...
don't know how you bring trade back to this, quite honestly.
So what are they doing with this place? What's the plan for here?
They have no plan.
They don't.
They're doing a consultation.
Oh my god. So it fell through because of private funding and then got put in the hands of the council, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the council owns the site, I believe, but Into, who owned both shopping centres, were supposed to build a new one here after it was knocked down, but the pandemic finished them off. And where we're standing here was a British Home Stores. Once that went, that sort of really put a nail in the coffin of the Broadmarsh. There was a very big Boots here, and C&A, which is now H&M, which is now closed.
Yeah.
And a Marks and Spencer home. This is the bit that's really gone to hell.
Yeah.
But wow, even since you were here, they've taken the thing off saying they've moved.
And then the only one really that's open down here is the big new look. And then again it goes on to empty.
Empty. Paul Smith. This bit here used to have all the designer clothes shops.
Right, yeah, so that's it there, Paul Smith.
Yeah, I've never been in. It's above my price range.
Is it? Yeah.
Parts will still be going.
Oh yeah, this is nice. I mean, it's very quiet, but it doesn't look like there's anything shut down in here, which is nice.
John has been trading here for decades. You can ask him more.
Nice. Oh yeah, sweet. So you own this shop. You've been running for how long in this premise?
That's over 30 years
30
in
years.
October.
Do you own this?
We do. We're quite fortunate. We managed to buy the building about 15 years ago. And actually, one of the things we've done as part of our refit is put in a separate street level entrance so we could get use out of the upstairs.
Oh,
so
nice.
We've got an escape room company in there now.
Ah, wicked.
We wanted to make sure that rather than just converting it to residential, we could do something that would support an independent business.
Right, yeah, so you've kept the whole building alive essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good to hear.
We have a website, www.page45.com. We ship worldwide. Everything we've got in the shop, we sell online. We only charge what it costs us to post, not a penny more. And what we specialise in is comics and graphic novels. Every type of fiction and non-fiction, there are sequential based stories to be told.
Yeah.
And that's what we specialise in.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. All right, nice one. Thank you so much.
And this used to be my favourite shopping street.
Oh, really?
So this Poundland was a Virgin megastore.
Oh, right, yeah.
And back in the 1990s, that was very exciting.
Yeah?
Then it turned into HMV for a while.
Still quite exciting.
Yeah. And now Poundland, less exciting.
Yeah, very true.
This is another very old pub.
Oh yeah,
Salutation.
the old Salutation. That looks great. Nice pub, that. Oh, that looks all nice there, doesn't it?
So this is called Standard Hill.
Yep.
And the reason it's called Standard Hill is it's where the Civil War started, on this point.
Wow.
Just there. So King Charles raised the standard against Parliament there.
Right there, wow.
Yeah, so Nottingham was a royalist stronghold.
Ah.
And as a result, after the Parliament won, Oliver Cromwell came and dynamited the castle.
Wow.
So that's why it's largely destroyed. But once you get inside, there's not much of the old castle left.
Right, here I am. Rare occasion, the Wandering Tape not holding the camera. Look at this. Who's this from? When did it get put up? 1951. Big, innit?
I remember a long time ago somebody stole the arrow. So I think it's welded on now.
Nice. Look at that, yeah, you can see the old stone there. Nice old stone. The modern stone. So here we are in the castle.
The total, if you drew a line around it on a map, the total population is about 700,000. But within the administrative city, it's only about 350,000. So the city boundaries are drawn within the city. And that means that the population of Nottingham is made up mainly of the inner city areas, which are poorer, more deprived areas. So the suburbs, Rushcliffe, Broxtowe and Gedling, have all got their own councils. They've all got Tory MPs. All the council tax from those wealthy, leafy suburbs is kept out of the city.
Yeah.
Which is why the city is really quite poor. And if you look at league tables for sort of deprivation, crime, poverty, Nottingham is on the wrong end of all of those tables, but it is somewhat artificial because of where the boundaries are drawn.
Right, yeah. Oh, Eleanor, you would love this.
See that there on the horizon?
Okay, yeah, the cooling towers or the hill.
That is the last operating coal-fired power station in the United Kingdom.
Really?
It's one of one. It's Ratcliffe-on-Soar power station
Wow.
in Castle Donington. And obviously you can see why it was built here, because the Nottinghamshire coalfield was producing all the coal.
Yeah.
But there were lots of coal-fired power stations here, which takes me back to the Black Church. But a couple of years ago we were down to 4 coal-fired power stations, and now just that one. Keep saying they're going to close it down, and they never close it down because the nuclear power that's supposed to replace it is always behind schedule.
Yeah.
So that is the last of a breed.
Fascinating.
I don't know whether you can make any value judgments about whether it's getting worse or better. It's just changing.
Yeah.
And you know, I do feel nostalgic for what it used to be like. It's had different heydays in the past, and it's had different slumps. I mean, when the coal mining industry closed down, when the late industry closed down, it's just changed.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this. Look, we're back. We are back at the old trip to Jerusalem for the second time. I didn't think we'd be back here so soon. Let's go get a pint. Do you want to grab a table
I will,
outside?
yes.
What do you want?
A lager.
Right, yeah. Right, there we go. Chin chin.
Chin
Mate,
chin.
thank you so much for the
you.
tour. Thank you for bringing me back. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to see the other side of it. I think it's important. As I say, I always try and be fair and balanced, and if I didn't give a fair and balanced account, I'm happy to come back and do it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, mate, well, chin chin.
Cheers.
Thanks for getting me down. Yeah, good man. What a perfect day to revisit Nottingham. The weather was glorious, and upon returning to Yorkshire, I am presented with that familiarity I know so well. So I asked that question, was I wrong about Nottingham? And in a series where the primary focus is finding empty buildings, boarded up shops, retail units to let, I definitely came across a large amount of that. However, I'm so buzzing that I was invited back to the city by the people of Nottingham, who said, come on, give us a fair chance, you haven't explored it all. Honestly, Rob, thank you so much for giving me that tour and showing me everything, and along the way being able to meet the guy who opened the record store, FAC 1968, who the guy had lost his record store back in, what was it, the 90s, and thought he'd never open one again, and then recently he has. So good. or the guy with the comic book store, page 45, who'd not only opened the store downstairs but given life to the bit above with an escape room, a real good way of revitalising the whole building. And that buzzing guy in the market, what was it, Madhouse Nuts, who I just randomly bumped into. And it was really nice to hear from him as well, him saying, oh, thank you for raising awareness, because I hope that's what I'm doing, and hearing from business owners who clearly understand the struggles of rents and rates, and for him to say, oh, cheers, mate. I'm glad that this series is getting taken seriously by and meaning something to those who are directly affected. Now, in exploring the city more as well, I also came across a lot of other boarded up stuff that I missed, like that giant building which I came across, which really is the saddest stuff to see, those grand buildings that are just devoid of life. However, as I said, I'm so glad that I got to come revisit and explore Nottingham more. One other thing, I got a few comments on the other video as well, just saying, all your content is just completely negative, that's all you do, tear the country down. And I actually think if you watch my content, if you actually go into it, I'm an incredibly positive guy. I actually want to build the country up. Go watch my Made in Britain series where I'm celebrating the businesses that are still doing great, making things here. Go watch the video I made about the guys who bought back a pub. They saved it, brought it back to life. Go watch that and tell me that's negative. But please don't think that I'm trying to tear this country down. There's many, many different angles on this channel. I want to keep my content as varied as possible. If you think it's all just negative, do what I did with Nottingham. Go have a second look and maybe you'll change your mind. Thank you. Bye-bye.